Steve, calm down. We're doing another episode. You need to focus.
Get me all agitated. What?
You do look like you work at Harris Teeter. He's wearing khakis and a blue shirt.
It's a good
everybody.
brand.
Harris Teeter.
Hey, if you work for Harris Teeter, smash that button. Okay?
Hey,
we got a lot of followers from you guys. Come on,
comment below. What do you prefer? Food Lion, Harris Teeter, Lowe's.
There you go. Clickbait.
All right.
Yeah.
Subscribe, like, smash
Piggly Wiggly.
that like button.
All right. So
What are we talking about?
We're back, baby. Today we're going to talk about the bridge to nowhere philosophy we've come up with, where you've got two parts of the marketing campaign equation. You've got the vehicle, and then you've got the content. So the vehicle is systematic. It's what drives to the audience, and the content is what that vehicle is carrying. So the vehicle would be your Facebook feed, your Instagram feed, all that stuff. The content would be your captions, your posts, and things like that.
Okay.
That's one example. Other examples would be the websites, the vehicle, the pages, and the content within the pages are.
So how is this
content.
How is this bridge to nowhere?
So the bridge to nowhere is cases, and they're common. They're more common than not, where businesses and brands will invest in the vehicle heavily because it's a tangible, quantifiable part of the equation, and they'll leave little room in the budget for the content, which is more the creative, I don't want to say emotional, but it's the allure of the call to action. So what do you do when you see that, where 95% of the operational budget is put into the vehicle, the platform, and only 5% is left for creating valuable, meaningful content that will actually intrigue someone to take an action?
Yeah.
Because a lot of times the vehicle is blamed when it's doing what it's supposed to do. It's reaching people. There's just nothing on the content side to get them to stop and stay.
I think people, like you said, it's quantifiable.
Is the reason, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. If you want to track website statistics through Google Analytics, and say your site that runs ads on your website or something, or say it is Facebook, and you can read those statistics. That comforts people. Like, you know exactly how many people were reached, how many people might have clicked on something. That shows value, like you said.
Well, it's a direct, I put X amount of dollars in, I got X amount back in audience. Now, for us, I think, for me at least, when I go in and evaluate a brand, it allows us to figure out why something might not be working. There's tons of times where we've gone in and the web traffic is phenomenal. They think the website sucks. Our website doesn't work. Well, if you dig in, you're actually getting really good traffic. It's coming from good sources, but your bounce rate is terrible and they're not staying. So it's not the vehicle. It's not the vehicles that are taking the audience to the site. It's the actual site itself. There's no reason for them to stay, to walk them through the customer journey or the online journey, whatever you want to call it. So that, for an agency like ours, is a benefit to be able to understand how the equation's working. But I feel bad for a lot of businesses who might not work with an agency like ours, or even come to an agency like ours to pick the brain, where they just pretty much throw the baby out with the bathwater and just chalk it up to, well, it's not working.
Yep. Then they go find an agency to build them a new, who knows how expensive of a website, because they think that's the problem.
And they carry all the same content over.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You really have to focus on the type of content you're putting out there. So if you're trying to drive traffic to, say, a blog on your website, and like you said, you're getting great traffic, lots of views on your website, they're getting to that page, but they're obviously not sticking around long enough to read that content. Just find yourself an agency that will focus on that content, or try to find the problem without blowing up the whole vehicle, like you said.
Well, yeah, first get into the performance. What can we quantify? So the metrics and all that. One of the things that we get asked a lot is, okay, well, great. So you know how the equation works, but can you tell me what constitutes good content? And
no.
Can't tell you till you start testing, but we can get a general idea based on your client persona and the audience you have to date. But you're absolutely right. Like, there is a test and measurement that has to happen before you really dial into, like, damn, this is the narrative we need to have from here on out.
Definitely.
Because this is what our audience wants.
And you will be surprised by some of the things that are effective. I mean, we've been surprised.
Yeah, absolutely.
With doing our own stuff at Bonsai.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll think we have a great idea for this clever ad or something we're doing to push one of our blogs, and it doesn't get as much traffic as we think. And then we kind of do something, just an offshoot that's kind of an average post.
In our mind, it's an
like,
average because it's so quick and simple.
Yeah, it's like, hey, we need a quick idea. Just throw something up real quick, and you'll get
it lands.
Insane, response to it. So you do have to test and measure.
And I think that the other there's a bunch of rules of thumb we have, but one of the things we tell businesses to create outside yourself. You are not your audience. And I think, and you kind of brought it up, what you just said there. We've been guilty of this in the early days. We created for ourselves, as whether it be as creatives or analytical folks. We said, well, this is what we think it should be. And the reality is, it doesn't always land. Yeah. We really have to rely on our audience to tell us what they want to digest before we feed them. That's kind of how we've looked at it. I will tell you, one of the things that I've seen when you guys are working on campaigns, like some of the common things that we put in place are what will get us closer to good content, and that is it has to be relevant. It doesn't necessarily have to be timely. I mean, evergreen. If something's helpful now, it can be helpful later. So it doesn't necessarily have to, but it has to be relevant. It has to be regular, and it has to be genuine. It has to be in a genuine narrative that people can feel the brand coming through.
Yeah.
So you can't just be constantly pushing product, constantly pushing service, or trying to be your competition, because they're going to read through it.
Well, especially nowadays, because you get bombarded with all this kind of stuff on a regular basis. So people in general are getting smarter to seeing like what could be a pitch. When it used to be, you wouldn't know. Like, you would be scrolling through somebody's campaign or a Facebook feed, and you might actually get tricked into clicking on something that ends up being a sales pitch or something. Where nowadays, I think the general just social media intelligence has increased because we're on it so much.
It's constant.
You can pick this stuff up a lot
quicker. You can
quicker.
weed out BS without a doubt. And I think that goes even to the digital side of things, how digital has changed us as a people and how we communicate. Forget the marketing side of just how we communicate. I mean, communications, and we've talked about this in other episodes, it used to be done face-to-face, eye-to-eye. It was much easier to tell if someone was, quite frankly, bullshitting you.
Yeah.
You can read their body language. Now it's behind a screen. So there was always a gap in between the humanity of the communication. It was somewhat missing. We have figured out a way to even read that now.
Yeah.
Through social, which to me is crazy, but it's there. So now you have no other choice than to be authentic and genuine.
And that's
in what you're putting out there. And that is a marketing strategy.
That's a marketing strategy, definitely. Yes. And it's successful. And a lot of people use that to great success.
Yeah, and brand loyalty, all that stuff. Trustworthiness, likability, it's 90% of why people decide to work with their brand is whether they like them or trust them. I mean, if they don't trust you, you're dead in the water.
Yeah. Doesn't matter how great your product is. People don't trust you if they see your ad campaigns are laced with bullshit.
Yeah.
It's
Are we allowed to swear on this? That's real. And let's tie this back into the whole theme of this episode is it doesn't matter how great your reach is on the vehicle side if your content is not authentic, not relevant, and is written with one purpose in mind, to sell.
Yeah.
So I think that might be the best way we can close this one out, is that just summarizes it. Authenticity and authentic content have to be a part of that equation.
It matters.
You're going to have salespeople time and time again and sell you on the newest platform, the newest app, the newest whatever to get you in front of a lot of people. That's great, but when you're in front of them, what are they going to see? What are they going to feel? What are they going to hear? And if that's not dialed in to something that's genuine, have fun.
You can have the best. You can have the best.
You're not going to win. You're not going to win.
You can have the best car in the world, but if the driver sucks, you're going to get in a wreck.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to go off the road. So.
Right off the road.
All right. So you want to have an analogy contest? You want to have?
That was the most
clever
thing. You do one.
Actually, I wrote a blog about that, and it uses the. I already did it.
About a car?
Yeah, brand management. Yeah, if you don't have a brand manager, you're in a car without a driver.
Oh shit.
Yeah, Steve, come on. You're not reading my stuff, are you?
No.
Oh man.
I guess I should have.
Maybe you should. Maybe
I guess I should.
Guess what? You're fired. All right. I'm just kidding. This is good stuff, man. No, this is awesome diving in with you from the visual side of things, the messaging side, pulling us together.
Content matters. Vehicles matter too.
Yeah, but don't forget the other. Don't forget the other.
Definitely.
Yeah. So.
All right.
Good deal, guys. Thanks.